is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here with Jimmy D. It's a Monday. Jimmy D is finally back in town. Before we get rolling, make sure you guys, if you're rolling in, hit that subscribe, like, share. If you're new to the channel, if you're a veteran, you should be known to hit that like. Shouldn't have to be telling you. So it's kind of like one of them days. It's still a little slow. We're almost to football season, so we had a little to talk about. But what has taken the world by storm today is college football. EA Sports finally getting back. They settled some lawsuits. They got all this stuff with the NIL and all of that, which took the games away. But I think there was a lot of people calling in sick today. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if you guys in the chat got it. Let me know. Your boy got the game. I'm warming things up. I joined this Dynasty League, so we're going to get into that. But Jimmy, you still playing any video games? Were you on the waiting list? Were you waiting for it, counting down the minutes?
No, you know what, man? My kids occasionally make me. They ask me to go play whatever, Chell or NBA or whatever. Man, I have trouble figuring out all the buttons and shit. I'll play, but I'm not that good.
No,
I'm old. I changed.
Now, do your kids, were they excited about EA, the college game? I mean, they probably don't remember it because it's been 11 years. They were pretty young, but it was pretty impactful for us growing up. It was a big deal. But do your kids, were they playing it or looking forward to it coming out today, or didn't care?
No, they always play all the pro games. So they're playing the Chell, NBA, NFL. That's what they're playing. NBA. Wow. So. Yeah,
they like professional.
Yeah, not that high school or collegiate. They like professional.
Well, you guys, we're getting this thing rolling. We're excited. I'm excited for college football. Jimmy, not so much, but I don't know about you guys. So this kind of gets it sets the tempo. The football is back. I mean, July is pretty much the last month with training camp coming up. So preseason's going to be here before you know it. We're going to be figuring this thing out. We got a little Cowboy drama to figure out. We got look at Steve. Steve got, what did he get, Jimmy? Help me up. I hit something.
I got it.
What did he got? He got the Madden.
Oh,
now, wait a minute.
Yes.
Now, give me, because my man Steve, hold on a minute. I gotta break something out. Hold on a minute.
Oh, here we go. Back in the day, Jimmy D knew more about college football.
I have an old school setup. I got a little old school setup.
Jimmy D knew about college football back in the day. Mike's still carrying on. He's not on the mic. He won't stop talking.
I got the Sega with the Madden. You got get that thing working right. A little Hawk 2 on there if you need to, and you get this Madden thing working. So I like the old school game. So I have that in the mini cave. I got the old school Sega in the mini cave. I got Madden 92 to 96. Cover all the years the Cowboys were Super Bowl champions. To make it more important. But the graphics are crazy. Like when you look at those games, like sometimes I'll try and play. It's like, how the hell did we play this? We play those things. I mean, our one buddy, he played a whole season in a day.
I mean, I won a championship in a day. Well, I was telling everybody when you went to go grab the Sega. Yeah. Man, I used to love playing back. That was fun. That's when I knew I was more into college football than I am now. Actually, crazy. I know, obviously, it's a completely different era, but I got an Atari 2600 over there on the other side of the room. Yeah, and inherited it.
Well, I'll tell you guys this. I don't know if you guys watch Golden Auctions. It's on Netflix. It's the value of some of these games. The Super Mario, the original Super Mario. There was a limited one that came out before probably the one that we bought. Our parents got us when we were kids. It was like in the six figures. That's sold crazy. For. I mean, it's insane, like some of the things. But what's up, everyone in the chat?
Yep, Jeff.
He got himself a PS5. That's what I got. I'm loyal. I'm brand loyal to PlayStation. I've always had PlayStation. My son is Xbox, so we fight over that. So I bought me a PlayStation. And I just use that. So definitely NCAA day. It's exciting. And I joined a league, and we got a league. I think it's College Dropout Dynasty. My man Nick's invited me, but they got probably like 20, 25 teams in there, and you got to pick a team. I couldn't be Miami. That was taken. My man Nick's took that, so we're gonna have to get that straightened out next season. But so I'm Clemson. So I'm going to be the Clemson Tigers. Yeah, I don't know why they don't have cross-play in the Dynasty, because I have to use my son's Xbox because it's an Xbox league. so I wasn't going to be in it. But it was a lot of fun, man. I dropped a little video, a little teaser, because I'm the coach of the team, so you had to drop a little video out there. So it's a lot of fun. Lacey is doing a great job. She's the commish. I let her know, inside scoop, we had a couple cheaters. We got a couple cheaters, possibly cheaters in the group. So she's making sure she put it out there. We're not going to have no shenanigans. Everything's called down the middle. If they might have to run a full scale investigation. anyone accusing everyone of anything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. My man Tay, he loves his Texans, but hey, he's been on, and the Texans are going to get that beat down on Monday night. Hopefully you're there. I want to be able to meet you there. I want to see the look in your eyes when you walk out disappointed, but I love the fans from other teams coming and hanging out. So East Side, definitely appreciate the love and hanging out in the chat. So we're going to get into that soon enough. So, but what else is happening with you, Jimmy?
So speaking of which, so last week, myself and my family and Camel Piper and his family were down in Punta Cana at the Hard Rock for the week. And we might have had a few beverages and took in some sun, but we put an X post on last week, and definitely, speaking of inviting other, teams in, of course, the Falcons. I'm a friend of Cowboys Cave. Obviously, I'm here every Monday. Camel Piper got some hate last week on that. I
post. Saw that. I saw Kelly. And maybe a few others had to chime in. But that is the $1 million question as a fan. And I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on. So are you happy to get there, or is winning the only thing that matters at Super Bowl? So I'd ask you guys in the chat, and those of you guys on X that are hanging out with us, I'd ask you guys are you satisfied? And if let's say the Cowboys went to the Super Bowl and lost 5 years ago, are you claiming that? Are you excited? Does that make you feel a little bit better that they haven't won one since in Super Bowl 30? Because that's San Francisco. San Francisco's been in the Super Bowl 3 times since they last won one, but lost. Went home with empty pockets every single time. So can they claim something? Any greatness? I mean, what's your take, Jimmy? Now, you might be on the other side of the argument because your team has been there and lost, and maybe that's satisfactory to you. But what do you say in that argument?
Well, I mean, you know what? I'd rather have my team playing on Super Bowl Sunday. And that's all there is to it. I have skin in the game. It makes it more fun, whether I'm, taking a lot of grief like I did that Sunday night, that infamous Sunday night. I took a lot of grief, or if things would have gone the right way, I would have been really happy. But it's fun, and for instance, like I said, Camel Piper, he, lives 10 minutes from me. He was so hype about the Super Bowl, and you feel good for the guy. He's all about his team. That's the way I was when my Falcons went in. So of course,
did you feel better when they lost? Like, are you the fan that you want someone to be? You want to be them to be miserable and lose, that way you can laugh at them, or were you hoping they'd win? I mean, where do you fall? Where do you guys fall on that line? Jimmy's Falcons are in the Super Bowl. I was rooting for them. Yes. I will say I was hoping your team won. Now, I wouldn't say that about everybody. My man Rob, my man Rob's an Eagle fan. I was not rooting for them Eagles. Mm-hmm. I wanted them to lose. There's certain teams that you want to be miserable. You want your buddies to be miserable like you are, but then there's some where you got a soft spot. He's like, you know what? You go on to taste that Super Bowl champ. You want to get that ring. And I was rooting for you guys, maybe because you're playing the Patriots. That probably helped. But, where do you fall in that?
Well, but, again, I give credit. My phone could have been blown up that night. It was very quiet. I think people knew, leave me alone.
Yeah,
had to, go into hiding for a little bit. I was in shock. I was in awe. But it was the fashion we lost. Obviously, if we got blown out off the top, then I say we got our ass kicked and that's it. But it was the fashion that we lost. But hey, I walked in on Super Bowl Sunday happy. My team was there. I was all hype. I had all the, party shit and all that other stuff and had a good time until overtime.
Sure, you had a good time. Now, if you had to do it over again, would you rather not have been there to live what you went through? And even to this day, would you rather not even been there?
No, I'm glad we went.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad. Right. I mean, we were, the last time prior to that was 99.
Like, I would say if I was going to watch Dallas do what they did against Green Bay, I'd like if I knew the outcome of that game, or if it was in a Super Bowl and I knew the outcome was going to be that, I'd rather not even be there.
All right.
That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to lose that. You guys were the underdogs. I mean, let's make no mistake about it. You guys were the Cinderella team. New England was big favorites in it and this and that. So you guys, that would have been shocking the world, and it probably would have been one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl history. You know
I have some family up in New England. They're 30 minutes from Foxborough, and they called me at halftime, and they conceded. Almost, well, probably a bad way to put it, almost like an election, right?
Yeah,
they conceded at halftime, and I said my exact words. My hand to God, I said, "Look, we're the Falcons. You're the Patriots. This game isn't over yet." And I hung up because I had that feeling. You know what I mean? So my gut feeling was right, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, we had Kyle Shanahan throwing the ball while we're up 28-3. You should be running the ball. We had two damn good running backs. What are you doing?
Yeah, it was idiotic. And they showed that. I think they showed the great games, and that was on, like, that's what NFL Network does a lot. And they had that game on there, and the catch, and how the hell? I mean, that is inexcusable. I'll never understand the mindset. But you look at Kyle Shanahan, I mean, in this big game, he ain't winning in San Francisco.
No. And you know what? There was a point late in the game. Matt Ryan just drilled the ball to Julio. We were inside field goal range, and who was it? One of our tackles went offside.
They tried to run.
False start.
No.
We had a false start, put us back out of field goal range, punt, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, there was one, and then he took a sack. I don't know. There was so many points in the game.
That was the beginning of the half. That was the beginning of the half where we took the stupid sack.
Yeah,
second half.
It should have been over a long time ago. But that's kind of the thing. So you see those guys that are just they're happy to be there, and I know Camo is happy to be there. I'm not. I need rings. I'm not a participation trophy guy. I've been waiting too long, and I think maybe because I've seen them. And that's why I was got in a discussion with someone, the Eagle. We had the Eagle guy, my man Smitty on, and people talk about the Cowboys drought, and they talk about Eagles won 1. I've seen 3. So whatever space and time you want to make it, I still saw 3 Super Bowls that I remember very well. Now, I wish I would have enjoyed them more. I thought that was just going to be, hey, that's just going to be the way life is. Going to go to the Super Bowl. I lived through the 80s and the terrible teams. And then you finally get there, and our team was young, hungry. And I figured, all right, we're going to have a long run. And I wish I would have enjoyed it more, but I still saw 3 of them. So, there's got to be something said for that.
Hey, Curtis, how's it going, man? I'll tell you, speaking of Eagles, we were down in when we were down in Punta Cana one night. We were in like the main building at the Hard Rock, and I take a look. Now there's no football theme, anything going on. As a matter of fact, it was like the Latin Heat Music Awards, so there's no football, none of that stuff. Plus soccer was on. There was a group of Eagles fans sitting there, all decked out in jerseys and shirts, walking around. I'm like,
mid-season form
on a rando Tuesday night in Punta Cana where it's 6,000 degrees outside. Now I had a couple cocktails in me, so I started, getting a little beer muscles. They had to pull me back a little bit because I said these freaking schmuck. Yeah. So I you know me, Mike. Yes. But I dialed it down. Hold me back. That's right. So, but I'm just shaking my head. Really, but whatever.
Well, the best is I usually I hang out happy hour. I'm at a little outside, little patio. And I always have my Cowboys, either a shirt or hat on usually. And Eagle, guy walking up with the Eagles hat. And it's one of those, usually you wonder who's going to make the first comments. I usually don't. Like, I'll never say anything to anyone unless they say something to me. Then I'll respond. And he just was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and no one said anything. And then he went and got his whatever he was getting, and he just left. So it's funny, like some of the rivalry fans and some of that it carries over into the streets. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be fun. And I thought I saw some of Curtis talking about training camp. Can't be more ready for training camp. But I don't know what the Falcons drama is. It seems like you guys are pretty quiet, but Dallas is just still CeeDee Lamb not signed. What are they going to
Dude.
do with Dak? And I don't really worry about Parsons so much because he's really a whole nother year out before they really even have to do anything with him. But, going through it, it's like now, Dak Prescott had had his little off-season workout and all the guys are there. CeeDee Lamb's not. So now it's media. Is there any friction going on? A CeeDee Lamb wants to be traded. It's all bullshit. It all can be avoided if you would just you're going to sign him. Just get the shit done and move on. But I mean, I just don't understand the whole Dak thing. I'm over that. If they sign him, they sign him. If not, he seems fine playing on a prove it kind of contract, and he'll be a free agent and he can go do whatever he wants. If the Cowboys don't re-sign him, he can test the free agent market, and I think it'll be a big mistake for the Cowboys. But I mean, that remains to be seen. But CeeDee Lamb just makes no sense. I mean, does it to you, Jimmy, as an outsider?
No, as an outsider, I'll say a couple things. I'm going to answer your question in a second. First of all, you got, as always, drama. Jerry Jones with his paternity suits opened up again. So you can have that distraction. You have the lame duck coach as a distraction. You have, again, Dak Prescott. But CeeDee Lamb hanging out there, I don't understand. And again, without having McCarthy signed, you have Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb in limbo saying, well, wait a minute. We're not signed. Our coach ain't signed. What do we expect at the end of the year? Do we really want to deal with a new coaching regime if it's going to come to that? So with the question marks and the open-ended situation, if I'm CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, I'm thinking a little bit.
Yeah. It makes no sense. I just wish they would just get it over with and move on, because it's just unnecessary distraction. And I talked to someone who knew Jerry from way back, and he says everything you hear about Jerry's probably true. Like all the stuff you hear. He said, I'm pretty sure all that stuff happened. But just want to also give you guys a reminder as more people are climbing in. Tomorrow we got a special show. So typically we don't do a Tuesday show. We got a special show Tuesday. Kevin Gogan's coming in the house, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk some Cowboys. A couple more stories I didn't ask him, so ask a little bit about that. But also going to talk about life, man. This dude, man, he goes mountain climbing. He's hunting. He's going down the rivers. He's going on month-long, hiking trips and all this stuff. The dude lives a life. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, have some fun, give you guys an opportunity to maybe ask some questions that I forgot or that I didn't ask, give you a chance to interact a little bit with Kevin Gogan. So we're going to do that on Tuesday. And then Thursday, Eugene Lockhart, I talked to him yesterday. He wants to come in. It's been a little while getting football season, so he's getting in form. But he said that he wanted to apologize. He wanted to apologize to Jerry Jones. He said he said some derogatory things about him on our show, and he's about forgiveness, and he was going through some pain with some of his surgeries and things like that, and so he wants to come in. So I said, hey man, you're always welcome in the cave, so he's going to come in. So we've got a lot of guys, a lot of players coming in. We still got Tony Hill I got to work out, and Preston Pearson, but we're going to try and get all those guys in before training camp or maybe during training camp and kind of get you guys ready. But definitely so excited about that. You want to get Gogan on the wall, we'll make that happen. Trying to get him out to a game, and Cuts, I will let you know you will be there. So
yeah, well, hey, we speaking of getting ready, we got September 22nd. Crazy as it sounds, it's right around the corner.
It is.
Cowboys Cave tailgate at AT&T. It's right around the corner. Make sure you guys are ready. It's going to be a fun time. You guys
got to get ready because it's going to be on Cowboys Ravens. You can't ask for more at AT&T. That's going to be my first trip there. Jimmy D's coming down. You got Cuts is going to be working the pit. Obviously, Kelly's there. Shady, Mark, Doug, the whole crew. I know Bugsy's going to be there. I know a lot of Steven's going to be. He's doing a giveaway on a Sam Williams jersey. We got a George T. Cuts that's going to be happening. We might even see George T. coming down there, man. We might get some players coming down there to hang with us a little bit. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys do not want to miss that. I'm telling you now, whether you're going with a group or going solo, stop by. It's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be more details to follow as we get closer. Opportunity to just, like I said, we're not going to ask for anything, but if you want to donate to help with the cost of the food and alcohol and all that kind of stuff, we will take a small donations. It could be $10 or whatever, and that'll help cover the food and all that kind of stuff.
And Mike Tag, that weekend, it's Bugsy's birthday weekend. Happy birthday to you.
I watched that too. I watched the last night because my wife left me home alone like a dog. Home alone like a dog. Took the kids, left me with the dogs, and so I was catching up on some stuff. I was able to catch up on a few podcasts, some great content. The Cowboys Can't Fan. I saw a little bit of Tuck, making the rounds a little bit, and then I said, you know what? I never watched the end of that WCW. Who killed it?
Great.
And that was, and no one ever answered who killed it. No one ever answered who killed it.
Look at Ultra got to be, whether it's Dak Prescott or the Falcons or any of the Yankees, there's always got to be hate coming out. But he thinks you're going to jump out of the cake for Bugsy.
Is it? I'm coming out of the cake? I mean, is he making the cake? Is he going to bake the cake?
Hey, wait a minute, Ultra. Are you going to bake the cake? Are you like Betty Crocker?
Does he have like a little chef's hat on? He's got,
the apron,
the flour and the apron. I can see it now. He's mixing the icing and got the,
Yes, he does. Setting the timer.
Two-layer cake. What are we doing here?
Setting the timer on the oven, right? And Ultra, no, wrestling's not. That high school and collegiate's fake, and that Olympic. That we're talking
professional wrestling. Now, I wrestled amateur. I was an amateur wrestler. Never made it up to the professional ranks. Unfortunately, I wish I did. I should have. I kicked myself. I mean, Jimmy, we had an opportunity to be a tag team. We could have been like, tag team champions.
That's right. The world tag team. See that picture I sent you a couple weeks ago, the one that in midair when I'm jumping. We got to put that up one. We got to somehow put it up here on the show.
That's when we're in our prime. That's when we're in our prime.
I remember one time you body slammed me onto the grass. I'm like, oh God.
No, when I body slammed you in the apartment on the second floor.
Oh, that one.
The whole place shook and like we just looked at the camera.
So Mike Tag sets up a camera because we're professional wrestling and in the back was this big Cowboys blanket hanger, right? So we're wrestling and he body slams me and the camera like that the whole damn apartment.
Oh man, they were good.
At least Bugsy knows. At least Bugsy knows.
No, Bugsy knows that's it. I'd like to see Ultra survive a Ric Flair chop and let me know it's fake. You know what I'm saying?
Patented.
That up. Patented chop.
Patented chop to the chest.
No, we can make it happen. We could definitely make it happen. But yeah, so it's but they did a ranking. I was going to ask you. So PFF, because quarterbacks are always the hot topic, and they did their rankings of the top quarterbacks. Let's go find it. And I wanted to see if you guys would agree. Let me find it.
And while Mike's looking for that, I did want to say, I'm sure we'll be happy. They also ranked interior offensive lineman Zach Martin number 1, Chris Lindstrom Falcons number 2.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Hopefully we get more. So here we go. So tier 1, I don't think anyone can argue, right? Tier 1 is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. That's tier 1. So tier 2 is elite. This one kind of surprises me because if you're going to do the Dak Prescott argument, then you got to include him too, but he gets a pass all the time. Lamar Jackson, number 2. Joe Burrow, number 3. Josh Allen, again, number 4. And that is your elite guys. That's your second tier 2. Tier 3 are your postseason caliber quarterbacks. That's Justin Herbert, 5. Dak Prescott, 6. Matthew Stafford, 7. Aaron Rodgers, 8. Jalen Hurts, 9. CJ Stroud, 10. And then you have the melting pot, which is pretty much tier 4. You got Jordan Love, 11. Trevor Lawrence, 12. Brock Purdy, Tua, and Kirk Cousins is in that mix. Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, and then you have Caleb Williams down to 19. So that is what PFF. I mean, take everything with a grain of salt. That's not mine. Don't go yelling. I see Ultra's already upset. I know if he's still here, he's pissed off because CJ Stroud's 10. But I mean, you can't. I mean,
well, Mahomes, you're not arguing.
After you get past Mahomes, probably Burrow, I mean, I think a lot of those, I don't know if I'd put Josh Allen in that. I don't think I'd put Lamar in that. I think it's really those two. And then you're kind of like from 3 to 10 or 3 to 12, you can mix almost anyone you want, right?
And Joe Burrow, I wouldn't put at number 2, and Josh Allen,
No?
I wouldn't put in the top 5. First of all, Burrow, let's see what last year he's hurt.
Injuries have hurt him.
Yeah, injuries have hurt him. But in the same token, some of the things he's been saying in the offseason, just bizarre things about hurting, and it's like he's playing mental games with himself. He's worried about injuries, all sorts of crazy talk that he's been saying. So I think he's playing mental games with himself. Let's
he
see
must
how
be crazy or something.
He must be. Josh Allen, he's got the talent. I don't know if he's got the speed though. No, he's got the talent, but he makes poor decisions.
But he gets a pass. Right?
Well, it'll be Buffalo's.
He gets a pass. And Lamar Jackson's playoff success is terrible. I mean, if you're going to say Dak's terrible, his is really terrible. How do you put him number 2? Like, there's no way. Like, to me, what would get me on Burrow is Ultra, I think, just said is his record against Mahomes. I mean, you're judging quarterbacks by win and losses, and he's had great games where they've won against Mahomes. And I mean, that's head to head. It's almost like that old Marino, Montana, you used to have those games. I mean, that's, Elway and then you had Manning and Brady. I mean, so Burrow has got to get, that's the argument I would have for him too. The injuries and durability could bring him down, but then who do you put 2? Like, I got to put someone 2. I'd probably put him 2. I wouldn't put Lamar Jackson 2. I mean,
no, I wouldn't do that.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, hey, I'm not a Ravens fan. I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan. I'd put him in the top 5. I'd put him maybe 4 or 5, not number 2. Hurts, I don't think is a top 10. And that's not me being an Eagles hater. I just don't see it.
I don't see it. I mean, I don't see Hurts in the top 10. I would take CJ Stroud.
Stroud.
I know it's only his second, it's a little unknown second year, but I would take Brock Purdy probably over Hurts. Jordan Love, I think you just need a little bit more sample size, but I mean, he's from a quarterback standpoint, I like him.
I think Brock Purdy should be in the top 10. I know you guys are going to come at me, and I'm a shill for the guy. But
I was surprised he was where he was at. I was surprised he was as low as he is. And I'm looking at the quarterbacks, and it's like Justin Herbert. I think he's too high. He's 5. I think he's too high. So I don't know.
And you wonder what goes into this.
Well, PFF is they're all analytics, and they're looking at all the analytical data. I mean, they get into it, but I'll be honest with you, I can't see shit without my reading glasses. That's getting old.
Getting old.
It looks into turnovers. It looks into efficiencies and things like that. I mean, that's typically what they do, and they're doing, as NFL Network is starting to get together with the top 100. It's going to be very interesting for the people like Ultra who really hate, for whatever reason, they have a personal thing against Dak Prescott. It'll be interesting to see where he falls in there and the people's reaction. Purdy not top 10. I mean, he wins.
He wins.
I mean, that's got to count for something. I gotta. What is he? He's doing training. Mikey's been playing. He's been playing college football. I know that kid. He's supposed to be on vacation, hanging out by the beach. He brought his Xbox with him. He's playing because he's scared. He knows the old man has already got him in the crosshairs, and that beating is coming. So he's already been practicing. And I know Falk. I think he's in that league. I think he knows his beating will be coming if his team can actually make it to the postseason. So it's going to be a lot of fun with this college, with this college football coming out. There you go. He's practicing.
Oh, he's practicing. He's probably over there hitting some tires. I know he's thinking about it.
Oh, got Pete.
See, I don't know, man. I wish, like I said, I wish I can get into that. I like the damn controllers right here on the other. I don't even know how to use the damn thing. So
yeah, well, these guys are talking, and since these people, since these, you didn't win no national champ. Let's just be, you didn't win. This is going fresh, and since all these people don't want to bring, I'll bring you guys. I'll bring the truth to you. I am ranked number one. That means I'm the best. Falk and Mike, you guys been taking that easy route, playing all them other bums. Let me tell you now, if you guys get to the playoffs, I will beat you down so bad, I'll send you back to the minor leagues, hoping and praying that you never met me. You understand what I'm saying? We are going to give you the beat down. I cannot wait for the season to start. I open up with Georgia. I'm going to slap them around. They already had a coward. He backed out of the league. No one wants to play me. They're all scared. They're all running. You know how that is, Jimmy.
That's right. Like you can see the look in their eyes. They're scared. I'm not. What is this? I'm not sure. Man, all these.
Is that profanity?
I think some of this is just false lies and propaganda. These people are talking.
Absolutely. We're gonna be. I'm excited. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But the other. Did you Jacoby Jones?
Oh God, rest in peace.
Passed away. Yeah. I mean, terrible. Do you know what happened? Because it said he died peacefully, but he's 40 years old. I mean, did he have anything? If nothing, I obviously respect the privacy and things like that, but it was just like, it was so surprising. And then it's like the 90s era. My girl Shannon Daughtery from 90210, she passed away. Olive Oil passed away.
Richard Simmons,
the guy you did Sweating to the Oldies all them years.
Richard Simmons, I know.
Passed away.
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth, that gave us all the sex tips in the 90s and 80s. He passed away. I mean, I'm not laughing about that, but I'm just saying, it's like,
I know.
It was crazy. It's like all happened in one day.
Yeah. It was a crazy day, obviously. But yeah, man, it's weird, right? The Jacoby, he was 40 years old.
Yeah, I don't. Does anyone in the chat? Do you guys know what happened? I mean, I hope. I mean, when I hear that died peacefully at home, it made me think that maybe he had,
cancer,
or something like that.
Right.
But I mean, you just hate. You hate to see. You definitely hate to see that. And too young, like Dr. Ruth. I mean, we're sad. But I mean, she was 90-something years old. I mean,
I thought she was 90-something years old back in the 80s.
That's what I thought. I was like, that's what's crazy. They showed. So my brother turned 50. So if you go on TikTok, you go on. I don't know if you ever just kind of catch yourself going through like all the motions of everything like that of going through TikTok, and I saw it and. The dude from Wizard of Oz. Do you know the guy from Wizard of Oz? The Oz guy, like the Great Oz who came out at the end?
Yeah.
Do you know how old he was at that movie?
No.
How much? Just guess. How old do you think he was?
I mean, he's got to be easily in his 50s in that movie.
He was 49 years old.
It's crazy.
I thought he was like 75 years old. I had no idea.
Archie, Bunker, Fred Sanford, all those guys that you thought were much older were all in their late 40s when they did those shows, which is crazy, man. I tend to, for 49, I think I look a lot better than that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing that you'd look, and then they were showing like all the actors in different movies and their ages during that movie. Like, God, I forgot the lady. You ever watch, what sitcom? But she was like 30. I mean, that was just some of them, man. It's just crazy how fast time goes, but how people look certain, you think they're a lot older because you were younger, and now you're like older than all of them. So like definitely shows you got to enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, man.
Three's Company, John Ritter obviously passed away, but Janet and Chrissy and all that, man, they aged. I always thought Janet was the best looking.
No way. Over Chrissy,
I thought
Suzanne
so.
Summers. My favorite was her cousin. She was only in there for a little bit. I forgot her name.
It was
not
Cindy,
Terry.
Cindy.
Cindy. Yeah, I liked her and Terry. I liked those. They were all.
They were good. Good show until they.
Ralph Furley was the best. Ralph Furley was.
I like Mr. and Mrs. Roper.
No, I like Mr. Roper, but Ralph Furley, because he did all the, thought he was a ladies' man and stuff. And I remember one time that Jack was going to get beat up at the bar, and Ralph or Furley got. I don't know if you remember that. Furley got him into the fight, and then Furley, he's all behind him, like he's gonna fight, and he's over there hauling ass. And poor Jack's got some monster wants to beat his ass.
The bet. See, what I liked about Mr. Roper was when he'd make a wisecrack, right? Mrs. Roper, and then he'd look at the camera.
Yeah, it had that look.
Little grin. Everybody would laugh.
Well, I tell you, not to change gears, I don't know if you guys saw it. Again, if you guys are rolling in on Twitter and all that, we're up. It's college football. We're up to 82. We got 82 people hanging with us, but it's a light day because college football. But definitely appreciate you guys hanging with us. But have you watched Hard Knocks, or have you guys watched the Hard Knocks with the New York Giants? It's kind of like their off-season one. Man, it's been really. I just was catching up on it. It was a really good series. It was good. Yeah, I like that one because they take you through the off season. They take you through free agency. Yeah. They take you through the draft. They take you through all of that. All the different process. And the best is they had Saquon Barkley. So Saquon Barkley. Really? And it was the craziest thing because either the GM doesn't understand anything, like as far as reading the room, but he called like Saquon, and they were arguing whether they're going to pay him or not, or whether so they came to the conclusion they're going to let him test free agency. So he calls him, and Saquon, the way he answered the phone, because it's all looked like oh shit, this guy's calling me, like, hey, what's up, like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey man, he goes, I just want to see. We're going to just go ahead and let you test free agent, give you the opportunity to see what your market is. And you're just come back to us, and then we're going to see if we can work something out. And, you still want to do that, right? He goes, well, I already told you where I want to be, like that. Like basically, like, why you keep effing with me?
Well, he missed.
I missed where, I don't know the story. And if one of you guys know, then you can spoil it for me. But did Saquon just sign with Philly and never go back to the Giants to give them an opportunity? Because it seemed like Barkley was pissed off about the way that they were handling it.
Just his tone of voice.
Oh, just tone of voice. Yeah. And just he was very short with everything that he said. But they made a comment in there that, they were going through, and do we pay him? Don't we? And I mean, they made a statement that is, you can't argue with. He goes, we ain't paying a quarterback $45 million to hand the ball off to a $12 million running back.
Yeah, I don't know, but the Giants have nothing now.
But he was their whole offense.
Yeah, he was their whole offense. That's what I'm saying.
Their whole offense. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out for the Giants. I don't think it's going to work out well. I don't think they're going to be any good. I mean, I don't know if anyone up here in the NFC East world is scared of the Giants, but I don't think they're going to be.
No, I wouldn't be if I were you. Like I said, I think Dallas takes the division, no problem. Philly second. Giants ain't going nowhere. But did you see on there was some Pro-Am golf tournament, American Century or some crap like that, and one of the guys was interviewing Jerry Rice, and
Jerry Rice want to beat his ass.
He says, Jerry Rice again, I will you up.
What was it about? What did he get pissed?
I didn't hear the initial comment that got him going, and then Jerry didn't stop. He said, "You want some? Come get some." And then, and then I guess they toned it down a little bit. I don't know what was said to prompt that. If anybody else knows, then please hit us up. But he went off, man.
But has he gotten a little like maybe out there in his older age, or no?
Yeah, I mean, it could have been all the hits. I mean, a lot of these guys with the CT, the wide receivers, man, they got blown up.
Well, I just saw Terrell Davis got arrested, and I mean, on the plane, and he said he did nothing wrong, and there's video of stuff. They're talking about suing the airline because they took him off in handcuffs.
Well, there's got to be. Everybody's got a damn camera, so the truth is going to come out on
It's going to come out, but he said he just touched the flight attendant to say, hey, his son was next to him. He wanted some ice for his drink or something like that. And she forgot. So he just, when she went by again, he just kind of like, just kind of touched her arm and said, oh, just, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she said he assaulted her or something like that. But I've been on a bunch of planes. I've never seen, now I haven't been on Spirit Airlines, but I've been on a bunch of other planes, and I've never seen any fighting or anything like that. I mean, I've never seen it, but I find it hard that you're going to do that kind of on a plane. I don't know.
No, she could be looking for a payday, whether it be, assault on the job, getting the airline. Maybe she knew who he was and is trying to get a payday, but everybody's got cameras. So the truth is going to come out. There'll be no false lies and propaganda.
And I think, don't they have cameras on the plane? Like, can't they see? Are they recording the, because you see that camera, like where the pilot's door is? I thought they had a camera there, unless it's just in movies. But I thought there was a camera.
Oh, you know what he said? Get the camera out my face. I want to be alone. Yes, there is a camera, but it faces out. I don't know if it had like a panoramic view or whatever it has, but yeah, you talk about Spirit. We had a friend fly Spirit, and they call it the Greyhound of the Sky. I said, because honestly, I was looking at prices to come down to Dallas to the Cowboys tailgate. I said, man, this Spirit is pretty good. And I was thinking about it. And, obviously Camo and I are flying on the same flight. And a mutual friend of ours said, you don't want to go on them.
Yeah.
And I'd seen all the stuff on.
Have you seen all the fights? Like,
yeah, the fight.
Get on the plane. I'm talking about in the terminal, like at the terminal gate. There was one in Fort Lauderdale. They beat up all of the flight agents because the plane was delayed. There was like a beat down because they announced the plane was going to be delayed, and they started throwing shoes at them and they had to run for their life.
Well, I got news for you. If I was going to be late to the Cowboys tailgate, I'd be throwing shoes too.
You can't. Yeah, you just can't argue. You can't argue.
So I said I'll spend the extra $100 and take Delta.
Oh, you're going Delta down?
Yeah, it's out of LaGuardia.
Delta or United? Is it American?
Yeah,
American.
Well, out of LaGuardia, Delta's the big. Yeah. It's one of their hubs.
Yeah, and if you don't believe me, if that's what Steven's talking about, go on YouTube and just do. It was a Fort Lauderdale airport, and it was Spirit fight at the airport, and you'll see it. They announced the flight was going to be delayed, and they were not happy. The passengers wanted, they were out for blood. Don't make me late. They'll make me late, but it's not a bad airline. You gotta either ship if you don't have luggage, because they get you on a carry-on, they get you on something you hold a bag, they get you checking in bags, they get you on a seat. They nickel and dime you. They nickel and dime the hell out of you. So it looks like it's cheap until it's all done, and then next thing you know, you're spending almost the same as you would, before.
And Falk's being a smart ass. Yeah, we know what you're talking about. That's funny. I'll give you a little credit.
I'm looking. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And what else? I mean, it's kind of a quiet day. What else we got going?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot else going on. I mean, what do you got? You got
baseball. The All-Star game is this week.
Baseball home run derbies tonight. The Yankees. I don't know if you saw the big brawl. We took 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. I don't know if Clay Holmes hit something in the 9th. We already up, and then all hell broke loose. That was a good brawl, a little bit of old school. But we're a game and a half behind, and Boston's made a run the last few weeks. We've sucked. The Yankees have been terrible the last 3 weeks. Again, I'll agree. Where are you? Where are you? Freaking
Ultra.
Ultra. Yeah. Sorry. We're Ultra. Where are you? I need you. We need to fire Boone. We need to fire Cashman. We need to clean house. We've said this 2 seasons in a row. I don't understand. So anyway, we got the All-Star break this week. You know what I want to ask everybody, because I was watching.
And also, hey, what's up to David? He's watching he's watching in Texas, Cedar Hill, Texas. Appreciate it. I see you're on Facebook. Come join the party too, because it's always better when you're on YouTube. You can get in the chat, you can interact a little bit with everyone, and it supports the channel even more. But if you're happy with Facebook, that's fine too.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Mike, I heard the Yankee. Yeah, you know what? I heard the Marlins are about 30 games back. So let's we'll stop there with that one.
Well, no, he's saying they want his player.
Jazz. The Yankees want my dog Jazz.
Well, that's one of his favorite players.
Oh, okay. I thought he was being a smart. I'm sorry, Mikey. I'm being a smart. Okay.
He's the only Marlin fan in the world. So just
okay. Sorry, Mikey. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to pull a Ronald McDonald Miller scam there. Oh, as a matter of fact, when we were down in the Dominican, Wander Franco got convicted when we were down there.
Did everything happen? Yeah, that's the guy I work with. That's his favorite player. He's been crushed.
Yeah, Mikey, it's too bad, especially that. Whoops,
Look at
that
Cuts is going to be at the Cubs game. You going to be in the bleachers?
Yeah,
is he going to be in the bleachers?
You're going to be in the bleachers, Cuts? That's a great stadium. Wrigley Field is great.
I've never been. I've been outside Wrigley. I've never been inside Wrigley Field.
Like Ferris.
Yeah,
Ferris
I just saw it out. I just saw it outside.
Or the Blues Brothers. Yeah, it's fun. We went there. It was a long time ago. It was maybe about 15 years ago. It's a fun stadium. It's a good crowd. I mean, I didn't have any skin in the game. My Yankees weren't there, but it was a good time. Old school. Yeah. Old school.
And I saw, my buddy's a Philly guy. He said the Phillies are just absolutely unbelievable right now.
They are. The Phillies are whooping that ass, man.
We don't want to see
they're hell of a team. I'm not a fan of Philly teams, but they're whooping that ass. And not for nothing. I wanted to talk a minute. We're talking about LeBron James's kid. Because we haven't had a chance to talk about this since this all happened. You were on vacation. I was on vacation. So they draft this guy. He averaged like 3 points a game in college. Everybody knows why he was drafted. It was nepotism.
You're going to hurt my son's feelings. Go ahead.
Okay. But at the end of the day, I think they're setting this kid up. First of all, he's in the shadow of his father. Right? Yeah. You got that. And I don't even like LeBron James, but you're in the shadow of his father, one of the greatest players ever. Not better than Jordan, but one of the greatest players ever. So he's in the shadows. He doesn't have the skill to play in this league. They're setting this poor kid up for a mental disaster. I don't know what you guys think.
Said he just doesn't. They said Bronny just doesn't have that care of criticism. Doesn't have the care. I mean, he said his other son would. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. But he's not going to be an impact, right?
No, he's not going to be at all an impact. And honestly, second round, that was ridiculous, right? He's undersized. He made an ass of himself a few days ago with an air ball from inside the foul line. It was ridiculous. And again, I mean, it's nepotism. It is what it is. We all know what it is. And if I was another team, I would have taken him, despite the agent saying, if another team drafts, he's not going to sign. I would have said, screw you, taking him anyway.
But if let's just say, we're all, your dad, if you're a successful guy, I'm guessing you're successful, right?
A little bit.
If you could pull your muscle a little bit to help your kid out, you would do it?
Of course I would. No, of course I would. Of course I would.
LeBron said, hey, my son's there in the second round. NBA second round is kind of like a wasted pick anyway, right? For the great scheme of things.
But wait.
We'll get some stud.
Ronnie said he's in a slump.
he needs a slump buster. But would you? I mean, right? It's not.
It is what it is. But again, I don't care how thick this kid's skin is. At the end of the day, you're in your father's shadow. You're not good enough to be in the league. You made your quick $7 million on your signing. And second rounders in the league, in the NBA, could be good players, right? So that being said, I think it's give them time. Give them time, Dave. It'll come. It'll come. Deion Sanders' son struggles with the overhype, and there's another. I don't know much about.
Do you think he struggles? I don't think Shador struggles with that. The safety or his first son didn't. Deion Jr. He never played. In college or anything, but his other two sons, especially Shador, it doesn't look like he struggles in the shadow.
No, and I don't know much about college football, but I agree with you. And from what I see and what I know and what I read, he's not pretty damn good player.
Yeah, right? I don't know if he's NFL. I don't know if he's going to be a starting quarterback, but they seem to hype him up with that. I'm sure he's going to get an opportunity because of the name. But it's like I say, there's a lot of guys in this league that. Hey man, it happens more in college than probably pros where, guy went to, if I went to University of Miami and I was a star and I had my son, they'd kind of take him over there and do me a solid. So what did he say?
He said, the Ware's a dog. He was a great pick for my Heat. Yeah. Hey,
is he doing good? The Heat guy?
It's only your spring league or whatever it is, your off-season league.
Playing
a
lot of guys that down there, a lot of amateurs.
Yeah, they're playing some guys that get off the street, some guys from Ice Cube's 3v3 league. Yeah. Did you see?
Let me ask you this, because we're talking basketball. I know you probably don't follow women's basketball that much, WNBA. You're seeing Caitlin Clark really doing well. Obviously, Reese. So I did not know this, but I found it interesting. Is the the WNBA All-Star team is going to play the women's Olympic team. I guess that's their All-Star game.
Really?
Correct me, someone, if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
But do you think it's a mistake for the Olympics not to have Caitlin Clark or Reese, both of them, on the Olympic team just for the exposure? I mean, the women's basketball, they're still it's not like the men's where these other countries, but you better bring it because the USA going to lose again. But that's right. Women, I think the women's basketball is still so far above the other countries in the US that what interest do you have to watch it? If you put Caitlin on there and you put Reese on there and you put some of the young talent that's in the WNBA, wouldn't that help give you more exposure?
I know 2 names in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and that's it. So I think they're stupid not to put them on. I don't watch the WNBA, but obviously I read sports and I watch all the sports shows. Those are the names I know. Why wouldn't you put them in there?
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all. I don't understand it. And again, you're going to get ratings, and obviously they're good players.
But you're going to get real rate. Like, who's going to watch the women's USA basketball if they're going to kill most of the teams. They're not, they're just, you need something to bring you in. And I don't know why they wouldn't do that. Like Caitlin Clark, they said her jersey sold out in 17 minutes, her All-Star jersey. They're selling out and they're moving their games into bigger arenas. Why? How stupid. It's so out of touch with an opportunity to really build your league. But
I don't understand it. And talking about basketball, I got to talk about a selfless act. Jalen Brunson from my Knicks, he restructured his contract, got an extension, but gave up $37 million so that we can go out and make sure we're signing who we got to sign to take care of our business next season. And I got to give a lot of credit. I know he's taking heat from some of the other players.
So he took a pay cut?
He gave back $37 million over the course of that contract.
He didn't put it down the road kind of thing?
No, he didn't kick it down the road, nothing like that. Wow. He said, I want to win. I want to win now. So we have more money to spend. And we got Bridges from the Nets a couple weeks ago. So, hell, man, we might be able to sign Randall with that kind of money or whoever else is out there. But, you rarely see that anymore. The guy said, look, he's making $39 million a year anyway, right? Come on. I think he realized, I want to win. I'm making plenty of money. But a lot of other guys he's taking heat because th're saying, don't be giving up money.
Yeah.
It's setting a precedent.
Remember what Patrick Ewing once said.
Yeah, we make a lot of money. We spend a lot too. during the lockout, right?
During the lockout. They're arguing for more money.
That was one of my better crank calls. The lockout crank call.
I don't remember that one.
That was the one where that was the diarrhea phone call.
Oh.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's say Steven, he really liked the Bikini League football.
I've watched that. That is, they should put that in the Olympics. I would.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. Come on, Billy Ray, get tough. They need to build him a statue. All right.
We get a statue for the church. Did he throw that in there when he was doing it? Get his money back. Get you a snow cone machine or something.
Yeah. Who's that? Al Capone? I don't sweat you.
Yeah, but it's just, yeah. So anyway, the Olympics are going to be starting. I like the Olympics. Do you follow the Olympics much, Jimmy?
I like the Winter Olympics more, but I watch it. It's fun. Yeah. Root for the USA. Patriotic.
Get patriotic, get things going. Lord knows this country needs some patriotism and some unity.
Yeah,
we're not going to get too deep into it, but what was your thoughts? we'd be remiss not to talk about it. Whatever side of the aisle, whatever. It really doesn't much matter. What have we come to as a society that you're going to,
and look, again, we're just not a political show, but Mike's correct. And we didn't even talk about this beforehand. At the end of the day, if Trump slightly turns his head, the back of his head's blown off, then what do we have? It would have been, obviously, other people died. Innocent people died. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Biden. I don't care who it is. You, me, anybody. That shit is uncalled for. And some of this rhetoric is outrageous. So I watched that 3, 4, 5 times, and I still can't believe that it happened.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it was, I didn't watch it live. I mean, I wasn't watching where he was at, but then you kind of saw it and you were going through and it was like, it almost, in the beginning is like, did a bee sting him? Because he just kind of went like that and then he went down. And then the reaction, and it was odd because, you go through this, is like the reaction of the people. And you saw some that were like flipped out. And then either people are so desensitized because you had people with their phones out, like just sitting there, like, they were more worried about recording it. And then you heard the story of the father that, with his kids. I mean, he was kind of shielding them or and ended up dying and just so unfortunate. I just don't get it, man. That's why I don't like getting in to me, the government, they're all crooks. I don't care what, that's just my own opinion. I don't think they do it. They promise us everything. They give us nothing. It doesn't matter what side you're on, but I'm not going to lose friends over politics. I'm not going to lose family over politics. So I just kind of distance myself from it. And, we all want what's best for this country. We want to make sure that our kids have the better opportunity than we have. And I will say this, I'll be the first to say, like, my family, like my brothers and sisters, we are better off than our parents. Like, we're doing better than our parents were at this point. I don't know if I could say that with my kids, and I hope I'm wrong, but it's really scary. It's a scary time, but it's time, times like this, it's like you need to be unified and you need to, hey, agree to disagree, but whatever. It's almost like when I go to work, it's like, I may not agree with some of the things that the company may want to do, but at the end of the day, when I punch in, we're all one.
Right. We're all one.
Not everyone can have their own agenda. It's the same thing in the workplace. It's the same thing in life. So that's just, I don't know.
Right. We all want, like you said, we want our kids to be better off. We want safety. That's what we're looking for. Everybody wants the American dream. And you talk about being able to disagree. I don't care if you're debating politically. How many times have you and I gotten in arguments over stupid shit or, stupid shit I did or whatever. And we, yell and scream or maybe, throw hands. 5 minutes later, it's all over. And that's it. That's all, that's all there is to it. And that's the way people just need to understand. You can disagree and be okay. Even if you have a debate or an argument, be done with it in 5 minutes. We're all men.
Yeah.
Right.
And
act like a man.
And life, I saw, and not to get all crazy, but I saw Reese. I was home. I watched Social Security. They've been saying that. I remember my dad said he wouldn't get Social Security. I don't think we're all right.
Hey, look at, I retire more men than Social Security.
But I'll mess up the phrase, but Reese Witherspoon she was like, you go through these reels. And so she said something, and she said, I was watching Steve Gutenberg. Remember Steve Gutenberg?
Oh, yeah. Best Police Academy.
And she said, he said something, and it just stuck in her head. And it was like a lot of people are like, man, I got to go to work. Or, man, I got to go run an errand. Oh, I got to go to my kid's game. Or I got to, and he phrased everything, I'm lucky. Like, I'm lucky I get to go to work today. I'm lucky I get to go to my kid's game. I'm lucky I get to go to the grocery store. I'm lucky I get to go get gas today because, tomorrow's not promising. I mean, you saw what happened, there. And we talked about some of the people that passed away. Some, lived a full life, but some, 40 years old, 53 years old, that's not a full life now. I mean, and you just, why live in the negativity? And why live in that anger? You see all these videos of road rage and this and that. It's like, man, it's like just,
I got a dude at work who, you talk about, similar concept. And he said he gets I got pissed off. I gave the guy the finger. I'm like, bro, you're going to end up getting popped one day because people are nuts. You don't know what you're running into. I mean, so I said, you got to tone that shit down, man. You're going to get hurt.
No. And I would say this, and I've said this when I talk to, buddies and I didn't mean to make this like a personal thing, but I go to a lot of Cowboy games and the crowd is a melting pot of the world. You got every race, I'm sure every religion, I'm sure amongst all our groups, there's probably 50%, because that's the way the country is. 50% are on one side politically, 50 on the other. I've never had, I mean, all we've had is great times. The country can say that we're divided. The country can say that, but it's up to what we do. And like when I go there, I mean, we have a blast. I love hanging out with everybody. I mean, we all have a great time. And when you go to the visiting games, you go to home games. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be, man. Enjoy your life and don't let the negativity stuff just kind of rip you apart and lose friends and lose family over some shit that just don't matter that you got no control over.
No, I agree with you. And that's a great point. When you go to sporting events and, occasionally you got the stupid ass drunks who get into a fight, but that's just because they're drunk and they're getting stupid, right? Everybody else is there. 99% of the people are having a good time. Falcons games are the same way. You got a huge, diverse, stretch of people at the Falcons games, and it's a fun. There's no issues at the games, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I mean, look at Cuts. He knows we're doing the Cowboys cave tailgate party. If he would have said, "Hey, where's the pasta and the the meatballs and all the maybe a lasagna?" He's making street tacos, but I like that. I'm a paisa, but I like that. I like a little culture. I want to get a little diversity. So, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Hey, I want that hot sauce though. I'm gonna be shitting my pants all night long.
Well, you got to pace yourself. The key to it is not to get crazy. You can bring a bag of peanuts. Always have that bag of peanuts because that's going to plug you up. You do not want to go in no porta potties. You don't want to go any of that stuff. So you got to make sure you pace yourself. You got to set the tone. I've learned that from a few friends.
Yeah, well, every time I go to the damn games, the last one at AT&T, I'm in the porta potty. All of a sudden, it's rocking back and forth. It was almost like Police Academy 2 when they lifted and put it, at midfield at the football game. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to have me some Chianti.
Yeah,
Chianti's on my list for.
That's your go-to. That's my go-to. The liquor store, get that.
Maybe
I don't really do a lot
Sunday.
of heavy liquor at the game. I got to keep my faculties in there. I usually will do some beer. I'll do a few shots, but I kind of. Because I like to enjoy the game. And Steven, hey man, I hope you can make it, but obviously, don't stretch yourself too thin if you can't. We're going to be there every year. So one of these years we're going to figure this thing out and we're doing some road shows. So if anyone's in Atlanta and it's closer to go to Atlanta, you can do that. If it's in Carolina, I know Doug puts on a great tailgate there. We'd love to hang out. So if there's any other areas that are closer, we have a road show too if the games are right.
It's going to be a fun time. And Steve, hopefully you make it, man. But again, it's going to be an every year thing. Last year I missed last year's. I missed a good time.
You did miss a good time, and missed a good beating too. Good beating of the Jets. I mean, that was supposed to be Aaron Rodgers' return, and we were supposed to exercise all the demons, but it didn't. He ended up getting hurt.
But it was a good victory.
Yeah. But anyway. Well, cool, man. Well, it's kind of a chill show. Yeah. I know we got Kevin Gogan coming on tomorrow. We got Eugene Lockhart coming on Thursday. So we got some Cowboy stuff, some guys coming, some people are loyal to the cave coming back in to share some stories. I know a lot of people are going to be playing some college football tonight. I'm getting ready to get my game. I got to work off the rust a little bit. 11 years of rust. I got to get this game tight because I am the Clemson Tigers in our fantasy leagues or our dynasty league. So I got to make sure I don't embarrass myself and end up getting my ass whooped because then a lot of people are going to, they're going to remind me of it. So you got to make sure you
got to make sure you back. Oh, look at damn.
Oh, look at here he goes. Here he goes. Hey, want me to rat this kid out? My wife, they're on vacation. They're at the beach. They're supposed to be enjoying themselves. She goes, all he's doing is playing video games. I told him, why'd you even bother coming? I said, I told you that. So he's scared. He's more focused on the video games and relaxing and vacation because he knows what's going to happen. He knows the beatdown is coming, and there's nothing he can do about it. There's nothing. So, the only thing he can do is maybe fake an injury, say the internet kind of there was a glitch, so the game.
Oh,
that old old
glitch.
Trick,
yep,
the old trick they used to do.
So wait a minute. So Mikey's down there right now with all the ladies on the beach with their bathing suits and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he's worried about playing his computer game.
I told him to bring it because I said you're going to need to practice. I didn't mean that he was going to play it all day. I thought he'd get a game in, he'd get, a little practice game. I was trying to help him. He needs the practice. That's why I told him to bring it. I'm trying to be a good dad. I didn't want him. He took the Coach Tag. He took my name in the league. I had to be Coach Mike because he took my name.
Damn.
Now, if he stinks, everyone's going to think it's me. So he's got a lot of pressure. He's got a lot of pressure to build up to make sure that he doesn't embarrass me.
Well, I think his mind has betrayed him. First of all, I'd be on the beach checking out the ladies, but that's just me.
It's like we had a guy on, a great Kason. He was on, if you saw the show last week, and we're talking about LeBron and we're talking about Jordan. And so I just said, hey man, who's better? Just ask his opinion. And he said the people who think LeBron's better, they play video games. I mean, I don't think I could have said that any better. That's pretty much the era. They're all sitting there playing video games all day. They hadn't seen it. But yeah, so yeah, Mikey's Tennessee, the Tennessee Vols. Some of our teams got taken. So he's in the SEC. I'm in the ACC. We're gonna run this league, but hopefully Mikey and I meet in the championship. If he's good enough to be there, he'll see me in the championship, and we can settle it. We can settle it like men.
Take care of all family business.
Yeah. Oh, I've got guys on my face. Hey, Troy Aikman is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I will be realistic to say he's not the greatest quarterback in NFL history. Okay, is that fair for you know what I mean? I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's underappreciated, but I'm not going to go out and say he's the greatest quarterback in NFL history. And he's on my favorite team. So you can't use that as an excuse, Mikey. LeBron was on your team. That doesn't mean he's better than Jordan. So I guess Dwayne Wade's better than Jordan too. Is it Ronnie Cycling? Glenn Rice is better than Jordan.
Pat Cummings.
What was his name? Harold Miner is better than Jordan. Was that his name? Harold Miner, the baby Jordan. Remember the slam?
Harold Miner.
Harold Miner.
Jeez. So, Now hold on, he says.
but yeah, so and that's a great. It's like we say, man. You could debate this forever. That's the beauty of sports, but it's so hard to debate errors because it's just games different. The rules are different. Games.
Yeah, I mean,
their conditioning is different. The players of today are so much more advanced. Athletically than players in the past.
Yeah, but against the rules, right?
Yeah.
Imagine the quarterbacks of the day, your Marinos, your Elways, all those guys.
Yeah.
Playing in today's league.
Playing until they're 45. I mean, you got guys in their prime and they're 40.
Yeah. They can't, those guys running for their life because they're getting killed.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you get touched, it's a penalty. Wide receivers back then running, like we're talking about Rice before, Jerry Rice, running across the middle. He got his ass blown up. Nowadays,
but look at the athletes in the 80s and in the 90s and look at the athletes today. I mean, look at the baseball players. I mean, back in the day, you had Rusty Staub, you had Bob Horner, you had Rosen, you know what I mean?
Remember Rusty Kuntz?
Yeah, him
he was
too.
A good one. Yeah.
But I mean, it's like these guys are in peak physical condition. I mean, even look at the football players now. I mean, look at Tyron Smith. We talked about. Look at Tyron Smith, who was a left tackle for the Cowboys, and look at Mark Tuinei, the great late Mark Tuinei, and look at their body structure. I mean, it's just these guys are just there's so much more advancement in conditioning and weight training and everything like that. So
Dan Pastorini. There's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Pastorini was good.
Yeah,
he was good. He's another one. but yeah, I mean, it's you're always gonna have those. You're always gonna have those debates. But anyway, what else we missed, Jimmy?
No, guys, I think we're unless anybody else got anything. I think we're good. Like you said, we got Gogan tomorrow night. We got Lockhart Thursday night. It's another big week here in the cave, as always. Yes. We got
Make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe. If you're hanging, you got up to 100. Now we're up over 100. If you guys are hanging on Twitter, which I see a lot of people are always hanging on Twitter, which is good. That's always good. But the best way to support the channel is always slide over to YouTube and hit that subscribe, like, and then just spread the word. But we're gonna have a good time. I think Greg might make an appearance on Thursday too. We had a great time last week, so get him back in. We're getting this thing rolling. So I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who hung out with us for the hour. It was a lot of fun. Now I'm gonna go work on a little. Now I got my remotes all charged up. It's gonna be ready, and then. What'd he say?
No, nothing. Be throwing, yeah. Thanks, Cuts. Thanks, Vince. I got you, Cuts. I'm feeling it.
So thanks, Vinny. Thanks, everybody. We will see you. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow night. If not, catch the replay. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get your opportunity to interact with Gogan and also Eugene. Get a chance to ask some questions and stuff. So we will see you. Appreciate it, guys. Jimmy, have a good one, brother. Take care.
Too.
All right.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need